tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the New York Jets. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
So don't say nothing.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Three down.
Hey, wahoo!
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check. Lucky, lady.
On second down, Johnson. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry for Trenton Cannon, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
We're going to start.
Watch the backer. Watch tight end. We got 3.
They'll run on first down with Cannon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On first down, Cannon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They're running it.
Bravo.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game. And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 or. You better be afraid of me. You five. Go. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill.
Hard. Hey, Zoo.
Check 25.
Sony Michel, his first carry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside.
Ready.
If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. 2nd and 15. They'll get that to Michel. Complete. Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me. Because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
2 times.
Ready? 3 down.
On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Kill.
Ready?
Check 3.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Vincent Smith, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Jets will extend their lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
We got this.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, That's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
First down, Oilers.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Oilers nothing.
Here we go. 90 Wolf.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 31. Check 31.
Five.
Throwing on first down. Herbert. That is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
On the ground is Michel, spinning away, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to set up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Johnson had a nice move but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Red lady. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Red lady. Watch the safety creep.
Safe.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Let's go.
They will take over. First down and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Down. 50. Plant.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Frank Clark has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
He's mine. Mike's 40.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, Haywood.
You can't block me. Switch.
Yep.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Snap.
Following the penalty, Michelle. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Herbert. That's out to his running back, Michelle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st down, Houston.
Got it.
27 Mike.
Hey, Alpha.
Let's go, D. Shift.
Check 52. Tight dog. Hey, lock it. Go.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Rush in.
On 3rd down, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
That's it, baby. We got
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. That's complete to Trenton Cannon, the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. Complete. Smith has it. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go, son. Not here. Check it. Ready? Kick the edge. Come, now, lady.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
He's not going to get me. Check. Ready? Here we go.
From the gun, a run with Cannon. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Vincent Smith, as the first half is winding down, and the Jets will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20.
First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Brashad Perriman in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, a full half to be played.
Let's go. At their own 41-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw on second down. Herbert eluding the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Operating from the gun. Herbert. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
First down, Oilers.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his tight end Fant. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Look at me. Zipper.
You got motion man right there. 47 miles.
They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Sony Michel, his 11th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold, open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Darnold. And this one complete to Smith. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Darnold on 3rd down. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Herbert flush to his right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch. Looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run with Michelle. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And up 50, plant.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Five.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Sony Michel, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good, and that will put them on top here in the third. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check 13. Check 13. Ready? Protein spill.
Shit, shit, shit.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Darnold from the gun. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Let's get off the field. Deuce, 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 deuce.
Young lady. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Gets it to his running back, Cannon. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
From the gun on third down, Herbert. And able to find Dorsett. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 21-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Again, it's Johnson. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Let's get it.
The Jets on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. That one goes for 24 yards. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. It's a foot race. The 30. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Michel on an island by himself in the backfield, second and goal. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Go, 8-3. Come get some. Come on here, come get some.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Wahoo!
Here's Darnold. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Bravo! Young lady. Give me that ball, defense!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's got Smith here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To the air again, Darnold. That's going to be caught. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play.
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Big play coming now for the Jets as they'll set up to go for 2. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, an interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone at the end of the game. Then they went for 2. It wouldn't have mattered. The game was over, but they didn't get that 2-point conversion.
I think trying to get the 2 points, that was for pride for them. But obviously the guys on the other side of the ball had some pride too. They stopped the 2-point play, even though, as you noted, it did not matter. So both teams battled to the end.
So for our visitors, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.